If you're looking to start your own online shop and you want to design your own website, then Blocksy is definitely an option worth considering. And the reason I say that is because Blocksy comes with a lot of starter sites, so not just starter pages, but full sites. So very easily you can come in, select the kind of style, the kind of site that you want, and then install that site. And then just start by editing the content instead of designing everything from a blank canvas. So what I've done is I've gone ahead on a demo site here and I've installed this garderobe website for a shopping site. And here it is. So here we are in that website installed. You'll see you have this great looking layout. You have a nice layout, a whole lot of different elements. And also all the pages are made for you. So the products page, WooCommerce is installed, the demo products are installed. This demo layout is also done for you. We have a services page that is also created for you, the About Us. There's also a news section where you can add your news. And then finally, there's a contact page. And the contact page also includes a form, an interactive form that people can fill in, a couple of products, and then even a subscription for newsletters. The footer is universal across all the pages. And once again, it's just a case of editing what's there and customizing the site to your business look and feel. So how easy is it to customize? Well, let's have a look here at the home page. So I'm on the home page. I want to make a change. Maybe I want to change the background picture here, change some colors. So how easy is it to edit? At the top of the page, you'll see this edit with Elementor. Elementor is a page editor, also a template editor. In this case, we're just going to use it to edit the page. So we click on Elementor, it loads up, and then we'll be faced with the web page again, but now in an editable format. So wherever you move the mouse, you'll see that you're able to perform the edits that you need to perform. So for example, if this brand new collection, I want to change the color, simply head over here to the text on the left, this navigation section, go to style, and then you'll see there we have the red, and I could then change that if I wanted to change that to blue. Simply select blue, and that's it. The text is now blue. And when I hit the update button, these changes will then be permanent. So that's how easy it is to edit the text. You can also add elements. So if we click on this block here, you'll see that there are a whole lot of elements that you can add. So if you wanted to add another icon, simply pop that in there. Change the icon, quite easy. Head over to the icon library. Look for the icon you want, insert, and the new icon is inserted. So really quick, really easy. Want to remove it, you can quite easily then just delete the element. So right click and delete, and we're done. Right, so that's how you can do some basic edits on the website. You want to change this background image, simply select the section. So we've selected the section, we're going to go over to style, and now we're going to look for the background. So we head over here to background, and let's just make sure we're in the right section. So this section stretches all the way from up there and includes this whole area that we're on. If you're not sure about whether you've selected the right element or not, it's not a problem. In the bottom left-hand corner here, you'll see there's this navigator. The navigator can detach from the sidebar. It's just easier when it's attached to the sidebar than to it doesn't seem to get in his way as much. So here we are. I've selected the top section. So that's the section with the image. And now what I'm going to do is just head over to advanced, and then we'll have a look at how we're going to change that background image. So here on style, we're going to see as we have the background image. So head over to the media library. If I want to change it, maybe I'm going to do, let's see, maybe I'll just do a landscape, and we insert the image, and then we need to set it to cover. So what you'll notice is that the the area didn't actually have a background image. It just had this single image on top of a background, so with a transparent outline. But if we want to just go ahead then with the background, we want to go to the size and change that to cover, and then you'll see we have an image in the background now. If we want to remove that image, just a case of selecting delete and it's gone. So what you have here is you have an image which is and has a transparent outline, and so you're able to then place that anywhere on the page, and that's pretty much what's happened here. So in this column, it's just the image that has been inserted. So that just makes it really easy then in terms of what you can do, because then you can layer images on top of backgrounds and create all kinds of interesting effects. If you're not happy with an image, quite easy then to just delete and the image is gone. So that's pretty much how you're able then to edit the content. Scroll down here a little bit more, popular products, you can just add the text. And as you saw before, very easy to go over to style and change the color. So at the moment, it's using a default color. If I want to change that, I can just change it to whatever I want. If I want to go back, then I can have a look at the default colors, choose the default color, and we're back. So in this case, let's use one of the theme palette colors. So you can change and mix up the homepage as you want. You can move things around. You don't have to go with the order that things are in. If you want to, you can just drag and drop, and then you can swap things around to the way that you want. So let's just, just keep moving, swapping. If you want to know which section you're in, as you select an element, you'll see that it highlights the area on the page. So for example, choose that section, and I know now that I'm in that section. So you can, pretty much edit. So that makes the editing quite easy. You can change it to whatever suits your business. So that's the one side of the editing. So once you're done, you would just click on the update. Once the update's done, then exit, and we'll just exit back to the same post. And then we'll just go and have a look at the website. So the editing is relatively easy, and there are two sides to it. The one is the content that you saw on the page, and there you can see that the changes we made have taken effect. Like these popular products, the color change, and then you also have a secondary option, which is the customize section. And the customize looks at more of a theme kind of change. So this is going to look at your top header bar, your logo, the navigation, and then also in the footer, we have some footer content. So this is where you're going to manage the location, the formatting of a lot of those items. So if you want to edit anything here, it's just a case of looking for these blue indicators. You click on the indicator, you'll see the navigation on the left here changes, and then you can make the updates. And you can see that the indicators are available for all the elements that you need, and you can go in and change, and you'll see that the options available to you are set out. So if you wanted to edit, for example, the menu, you can then, by selecting that, you will see then that there are some options available. This looks at navigation, so largely. So there, for example, you'll see now we have those two lines. There we have one line underneath. This covers, maybe that's nicer because it covers the whole item. And that we've just achieved by, one or two clicks. But there are a lot of options available, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But just to let you know, it's a fully flexible system, and you don't have to know any coding. You can simply click on whatever you want to look at changing and then make the updates. Also here you have this layout. So you'll see we have this logo layout here on the left-hand side, and then we have this menu here. And as you click on an item, you'll see that the options here change. So at the moment, there isn't a logo selected. So what we can do then, to select a logo, click on the icon and then scroll down and look for a logo. Let's go with that logo, and then you'll see that there are several logos that you can select, and each one provides a slightly different role depending on what you're looking at in the website. So you'll see that's the transparent state logo, and that's just a normal logo, but they work really well for what we want to do. You can turn things on and off, so you could turn the site title on or off. But generally you don't need to, because you have the logo and that just doubles up. So we don't need that there. Yeah, so at the top as well, you'll see we have this HTML element here where we're able to add our own little notice. And on the far right hand side, we were able to add the socials, and you can then add the social platforms that are relevant to you. And if you want to turn them off, you can just turn off. So this is essentially for people then to share your information on the social platforms. Right, and then if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that your footer is, it's also editable, but in a slightly different way. So here's where you can basically set your widget area. So, you can have your widget area 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you can also edit this widget information. You're not going to edit it here. To edit the widget information, you'd head over to your website, go to Appearance, go to Widgets, and inside Widgets, you will find all the widgets from all the sections. So you'll see when this loads up that we have widget area in the footer 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have the sidebar widget. There we have the footer widget areas, and then it's just a case of having a look to see which widget area you want to edit, and the moment you make the edit, it'll be live on the site. So that's pretty much then how we do the widget areas. Yeah, and then there's a whole lot of other things that you can also look at. If you want to create a new menu, you have an option to do that. So you can create all the menus that you want for different areas, and insert them in different places. There's also this cookie consent extension, which just asks the person to allow that you can track their information. So there's all of that. And yeah, there's a whole host of options available to getting your website the way that you want without having to be an expert in any kind of design software. Once you're done with the changes, you'd hit publish, and that pretty much then saves the changes, and you can close that sidebar, and you're pretty much done. So the sidebar we looked at is from WordPress, and the actual content on the page is then edited with this Edit with Elementor, which is a kind of what you see is what you get editing program for web layouts. Let's have a look at the shop functionality. So I'm going to head over to products here and just see how it works. So we'll say add to cart on a product, for example, and you'll also notice now that the cart here has a little one, or the basket has a little one, and you can see what's been added to the basket. If you want to go and have a look at a product, we'll just have a look at this one, and you'll see, yeah, nice. You have these nice big plus and minus buttons, which are great for mobile as well. You have a sidebar with some information, and if you're not happy with the information in the sidebar, then we can head back into the widget area, and here you can already see the products widget, and then there's another WooCommerce sidebar, and you'll see here that this ad that you see is the same as this ad, so you can then just go in and make edits that you want to this block, or you can remove it completely or replace it with something else. It's really up to you. But you can edit that information, or you can go into the customize option, and if you want to get rid of the sidebar completely, then you also have that option in the customize section. And you'll see now that because we're looking at the product and we load up the sidebar here, should also then load up with the options relevant for the single product. If it doesn't, scroll down, we look for single product, and you'll see here that we have this layout with the right hand piece. If we change that, we can then just have the single product without the sidebar, which is less distracting. And then you can also opt for that's a very narrow width. You can also opt in for a normal width, which is then just a little bit wider. And yeah, that might just be the best with no distraction. Once you're done, publish. And then once that publish is done, simply close that sidebar. And you're done with editing your product. The add to cart works nicely. Let's have a look at the basket. So we'll head over to the cart. And in the cart, we'll just have a look and see the products. Yeah, that looks right. That's what we want. We then proceed to the checkout. And you'll see you have this nice billing information or shipping information down the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, a summary of the order. And also here would be listed the payment gateway, shipping options, whatever you've added for your shop. So one of the things that makes it really great with Blocksy is that it's really easy to use and a lot of the heavy lifting is being done for you. We're just going to head now back to the Blocksy interface because although we've looked at the design, we still need to look at some of the other features available to you. So these are customizer shortcuts, and the customizer is that bar down the left-hand side of the page that we were using as we did to change the layout of the single product page. Now we're going to have a look at starter sites. So the starter site that we installed was the one with the shop, but you can see there are several. And if you're not happy with this particular starter site that we're looking at now, you can simply head over and install another one. You don't have to delete anything in order for another site to become available. You can just remove and add as you need until you find the one that you really like. Then we have a couple of extensions here. So the newsletter subscribe, these are the free ones. So the cookie consent has been installed, trending posts, widgets is available, product reviews is there, newsletter subscription, and then there's a host of pro extensions. So if you've bought the full version of Blocksy, then you have access to some of these other facilities or features or plugins that you need. So you might want to look at an advanced menu if you have a lot of items that you want to include. You might want multiple sidebars instead of just one left, one right. If you're an agency, you might want a white label. But if you're starting out, then you don't necessarily need to go with the paid extensions. You can start off with these, and then once you're comfortable and you decide you want to commit, then have a look at going with the full version. Then we have some useful plugins. So these are recommended by Blocksy because they work well with Blocksy. Some are for page editing. You'll see here, for example, Brizzy is a page editor. Toolset is a system for building professional websites. So that integrates Translate Press if you want a multilingual website. Gutenberg blocks from Getwood. Elementor Page Builder, which is the one that's installed now that we use to do the edits. Then you have HubSpot, and then WP Forms is already installed, and that is what is used then for the feedback form on the website. So already some of those useful plugins installed. If you want to keep track of what's going on, what are they busy with, what the latest updates are, then here we have the changelog, and that's quite a nice way just to see that it's being actively updated. And sometimes you see something in the changelog and you can apply that feature to your website, so you're immediately going, I didn't think of that, it's now available, I'm going to go and use it. And then here you can compare your free versus pro, and you'll see that the free does include quite a lot, and you can go through here and see what's not included. You don't need the paid version to get started though. Once you're ready then to upgrade, you can just head over to their website, and then here under pricing, you will find some of the options. And the nice thing is that you can start off with maybe a $49 one-site license, or if you want to try it on more than one website. And then if you're happy with it and it works for you, then just maybe consider a lifetime purchase. Then you don't need to pay the annual fee. You just pay a once-off lifetime fee and you're done. So then you can cap your expenditure. So this is basically 3 years, 3 years of a single annual, and you're going to get your website for life, or if you have a look here at $70, for $200, you get the lifetime version. So that's definitely a big saving in the long run. They have another comparison here between the free and the pro, and then just some questions. But what's also important is they have a really good help section. So if you want to know how to do anything, you can come in here and you can have a look at the header builder, footer builder, extensions, modules, WooCommerce. So a whole lot of things that you can do. And to give you an idea then, if you're looking at a shop, we come in here to WooCommerce, then you'll see that they have the documentation, and also it helps you to consider if you want to go pro, because then you'll see you can see what the pro product does. So in this case, how does it work? What does it do? And just by watching the video, then you'll get a good idea then of whether it's something that you want to use. We have the off-canvas filter. So you want to do some product filtering, and this will basically be just click of a button, it'll appear, and you can make the filters, and then it moves off the page. So it doesn't take up any space on the actual web page. So yeah, these are just some of the documents that you can look at. It's a great resource if you get stuck. Then they also have a lot of video tutorials, and you'll see there are videos in the documentation, or you can just come in here and have a look for the tutorial videos that you want or that are relevant to what you're trying to do. And you can see that there are a whole lot of videos, for example, on customization, how to get the site to look the way that you want. So yeah, highly recommend you have a look here. That'll be a great help in fast tracking. And then if you get stuck and you really don't know what to do, there's a knowledge base and then also a series of video tutorials. So the knowledge base is basically exactly what it says. It's a collection of knowledge, and in this case, it's the documentation. But also have active communities like Facebook, and sometimes you can just pop a question in there and have a look and see what comes back. And then under the more section, they also have this nice feature request. So if you think of something and you'd like to have them included, have a look at that. And then they also have a showcase. So if you want to know if this software is any good and you just want to see what other people have been able to do with the software, sometimes just helps you to make up your mind if it's going to do what you want it to do. So if you are looking at something for a shop, then you'd be looking here for somebody else who has a shop. So this looks like that could be a shop. So we can have a look at that. And you'll immediately see it looks pretty good. It looks like some kind of computer devices. And here we are then having a look at the product. And you'll see that they've customized the layout quite heavily. So obviously invested the time and the money to go all the way so that they can build the kind of interactive environment that they want in order to get their product message across. So quite nice and detailed. Of course, you can then add to your basket, and you'll see that that is working. And you can see now that they have that pro version with the sidebar that pops out. So you can even manage your orders from the sidebar. And if you're happy with it, you can head over to the checkout to make your purchase, close that, and you're back to the website. So that works really well. The last thing to look at then, and what does it do on mobile? And if we just have a quick look here then, this is where most of the work gets done, and you can see very nice, very neat. Click on the icon, very nice mobile menu. So yeah, there's no reason not to take a serious look at Blocksy. Then let's have a look at their mobile menu. This being a pro site that's been customized quite a lot. So let's have a look. And yeah, I think that works for mobile view. Definitely is a shop. and all the elements that you want are there. Banners and links to products, maybe links to categories, a mobile menu here with drop downs into different categories and subcategories. Yeah, so from the user perspective and being on a live site, it looks like it can do the job. Right, well, that is the Blocksy theme. So you start off small, then you can expand and go a lot bigger using the tools available from Blocksy. So highly recommend. Yeah, well, I hope you found that useful, and thank you for watching.